Hey guys, I'm back to do my next character review. Um, like my friend mentioned in his video, this time we're continuing to do characters that one of us likes and the other one doesn't like. Um, and this time we're doing, reviews of Merida from Brave and Naveen from The Princess and the Frog. Something that is kind of odd about this review is, um, while while he does still like Merida and I still like Naveen, our love for those characters has definitely diminished a lot over the years. Like I believe he said that Merida used to be his second favorite princess after Ariel, and now she's down towards the bottom, and he's kind of bipolar and has about her, and Naveen actually used to be my second favorite Disney prince, and he's now, I'd say, my 8th or ninth favorite, something around there. And while I still do kind of like him, there are some things about his personality that I definitely do dislike, and I can definitely see where his hate comes from. So this is definitely going to be a different review than I've done in the past. Anyway, the complaints that my friend has are, he's annoying, he's stupid, he's a lazy bum, he's a spoiled, selfish brat, he never admits his mistakes and keeps blaming them on Tiana, he's a liar, he knew he was going to marry Lottie, but still flirted with several women, he's rude and abusive to Lawrence, who had been trying to help him and caused him to become evil. He's a damsel in distress that is useless and contributes nothing. His development was done poorly. He's way too arrogant and egocentric. And he's a horrible role model. Those are my friend's complaints about him, and I can definitely... I definitely do get a lot of them. And the others are, he's not black like Tiana. He's not good enough for Tiana. His fans are annoying. His fans only like him for his looks. He's overrated, and he's a slut and likely had sex with a bunch of women. Okay, starting with the whole he's annoying. I'm not gonna get too deep into this because I've been over it several times. Annoying is very, 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 very subjective and very much in the eye of the beholder. What one person finds annoying, another person finds entertaining, and if he's annoying to you, then he's probably not your kind of character. I mean, I find, Rapunzel from Tangled to be kind of an annoying character, but my friend likes her and finds her to be charming and entertaining. So, it's very subjective. It's a little too subjective for me to pinpoint what annoying actually is. So, if you find him annoying, then he's probably just not your cup of tea. Moving on, he's stupid, and my friend went on to say, admittedly not one of the stupidest characters, but still, the thing is that even when Ariel and Merida went to their witches, they were at least a bit suspicious. Especially Ariel. Naveen just kept smiling like an idiot. Um, he assumed Tiana was a princess because, um, she was dressed, like one at a costume party. Um, I do hate to use this complaint, since he's arguably not stupid, but I think he is. Yeah, he definitely did have his share of stupid moments. Um, he definitely did have his share of stupid moments. Um, I I don't think that I would actually call him stupid. Um, but yeah, he did have a lot of stupid moments. Like assuming that Tiana was a princess just because she was at a costume party dressed like one. Um, to me, that was more bad writing than than him actually being stupid. And as far as him, as far as him not being suspicious of the of the uh, of the witch doctor. Um, I think that that he was a little too trusting there, and because I can't pronounce the guy's name, Doctor Facilier, I think is how you pronounce it. Um, basically, all he said that he was going to do was tell his future, and that um, that everything that was going on was a bunch of little parlor tricks and that kind of stuff. Um, Ariel and Ariel and Merida actually knew that they were getting involved in some real witches, with some real witches, and in Ariel's case, an actual evil witch. So I think that Naveen just kind of assumed that that he was some back alley fortune teller who knew some who knew how to put on a show and that kind of stuff, and that he didn't know that he was a real witch doctor. Um, if that makes any sense. Um, um, that's what I always got out of it. And as soon as he starts actually performing the magic, like tying him up with snakes and having the thing but bite him and take his blood, then he starts looking scared. Um, so that's what I always got out of it. But yeah, I can see why it would come across as stupid. Um, he's a lazy bum. Yeah, he kind of is. I I will admit that. Um, at least for a lot of the movie, he is. Um, but but he, but I do think he does reform and is willing to and is shown willing to help Tiana actually build the restaurant with his bare hands. Um, I do think that it's shown at the end that his days of being a lazy bum are over. Um, Um, I mean, yeah, they probably could have done a better job, but I do think that it's shown pretty clearly at the end that his days of being a lazy bum are over. Uh, he's a selfish, spoiled brat. Uh, yeah. Again, he was for a lot of the movie, but um, he does reform and learns that there are things that are and learns that there are things that are more valuable than being a uh, pampered brat with a lot of money. And you can tell that he genuinely cares about Tiana. Um, and I will get more into this in later complaints. Um, yeah, he does behave like a spoiled brat. Um, very spoiled and egocentric, for a good portion of the movie, which, it is kind of annoying. And I can see why it's a turn-off to a lot of people. He never admits his mistakes and keeps blaming them on Tiana. I'm not the one parading around in the phony baloney tiara. Do not kiss her. And when the blame is turned to him, he acts like whatever. Those two times that were just mentioned, were before his reform. So, of course, of course he's going to blame other people for his mistakes. um, Something that I would like to say in his defense about this, I do think it could have been handled better, and I think that he should have admitted his mistakes at least after his reform. But something that I would like to say in his defense here is a lot of heroes and heroines don't ever actually admit their mistakes, and it's just sort of left to the audience to, it's just sort of implied to the audience that they've realized the error of their way, and regret making their mistake. Like, for example, my friend's favorite fictional female character, Ariel. She never actually openly admits that it wasn't very bright of her to go to an evil sea witch for help, and that sort of thing. And my friend has even said that could have been handled better, and she never even actually openly apologizes for her mistakes, unless you count the little "Daddy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to" that was really rushed. It's just sort of left to the audience to it's just sort of left to the audience and shown that she regrets the mistake that she made by doing that, and that she's sorry with that for all of the problems that she caused by doing that. And I think that that's kind of what they were going for with Naveen also, that rather than having a big formal apology and him openly admitting that he messed up after he after he reforms and realizes how much he loves Tiana. It's pretty much implied that he knows that he made a mistake. That's what I always got out of it. He's a liar. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely a liar, but he's not the only Disney hero or heroine that's ever told a lie. um, and again, the lie was what was before he reformed, so so it doesn't bother me that much, but yeah, I can see why it bothers some people. I can definitely see why it bothers people. Like I said earlier, I can definitely see both sides of the argument. Even though I personally do kind of like Naveen, I can definitely see why he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. He knew he was going to marry Lottie, but still flirted with several women. Yeah, he did. And that probably that is one of the things that does bother me a little bit about him. Not enough to the point where I hate him, but yeah, they could have toned it down at least a little bit, I think, rather than having the hero of a Disney princess movie flirting with women when he's engaged and that sort of thing. It doesn't bother me to the point that I absolutely hate him, since like I said, he does actually reform, but still, it's probably not the best thing to have the hero and little boy's role model of a Disney princess movie doing. He's rude and abusive to Lawrence, who has tried to help him and caused him to become evil. Yeah, while he is pretty rude and abusive to Lawrence, I definitely wouldn't say that he caused him to become evil. I mean, Lawrence chose to become evil by his own free will. No, if Lawrence hated Naveen so much, he should have just left and gotten a job as a servant for somebody who treated him better or something like that. So no, I'm not going to deny that that Lawrence did, or that Naveen did treat Lawrence badly, but Lawrence chose to become evil by his own free will, in my opinion. Um, he's a damsel in distress that is useless and contributes nothing. Yeah, he is definitely a damsel in distress. And, he doesn't contribute a whole lot to the movie. I wouldn't say that he's as big a damsel in distress as, say, Princess Irene or something like that. And I mean, at least he's willing to attempt to save Tiana, even if it doesn't work out very well. Also, he does help rescue her from the frog hunters. When they capture when they capture her. He does pretty much rescue her from the frog hunters when they capture her. So, while he does play a damsel in distress a lot of times, I wouldn't say that he's completely useless and contributes nothing like, Irene or, the original Minnie Mouse, who was nothing but a damsel in distress and arm candy and that kind of stuff. And like at the end where he gets captured by Facilier and Lawrence, you have to remember that he's a frog going up against two guys, so he doesn't have a so he doesn't have that much of a chance. And two guys and a bunch of spirits, so he doesn't have that much of a chance. But he does still try to fight his way out. And yeah, I know Tiana does beat Facilier in the end, but she does it by catching him off guard, and she's had a lot more experience than Naveen, who's pretty much lived his whole life in the palace. His development was done poorly. Definitely not the best development. I will admit that. Not as bad as, say, Dimitri. That's what I think of when I think of really poorly done character development. I mean, it's not like he instantly changes or anything. It does show them slowly warming up to each other, like when they're dancing together, and then then it shows them warming up a little bit more when he's mincing mushrooms and 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 at first wants her to serve him, she tells him that he needs to mince the mushrooms, and he realizes how hard it is, and then admits that he doesn't know how to do anything because he spent his whole life in a palace. So yeah, definitely not the best character development, but not as bad as, say, like Dimitri, where it pretty much happens out of nowhere. He's way too arrogant and egocentric. Yeah, he is very arrogant and egocentric, at least until he reforms. And I can definitely see why that annoys some people. It's not to the point where, like I said, it's not to the point where I hate him, but he does have some pretty annoying moments. He does have some pretty annoying moments, even to me, so yeah, I can definitely understand this complaint. I guess it just depends on how much ego and arrogance you can handle. For me, it pretty much has to be somebody like with an ego the size of Timon's or Darkwing's for me to find so annoying that I can't stand them. He's a horrible role model. Yeah, he's definitely, I wouldn't call him horrible, since he does reform. But yeah, he is definitely one of the worst role models, as far as the Disney princes go. I wouldn't say that he's as bad a role model as, like, Peter Pan or Dimitri, Tinkerbell, the original one, not the Disney Fairies one, the Jessie kids. I wouldn't say that he's as bad as those, but yeah, he's definitely, if not the worst, then one of the worst, Disney prince role models, which I can see why that's a turnoff to people, but I still do like him pretty well. And the other complaints are he's not black like Tiana. Really? What does his race have to do with his character? I mean, that's... I mean, if you look at, like, Pocahontas, neither of her love interests, John Smith or John Rolfe, are Native American like she is. So by that standard, they're both horrible characters. But what does a character's race have to do with how good a character they are? I mean, that's up there with disliking a character because they're because they're ugly or sexy or whatever. Disliking a character solely because their looks or their race is really a weak and shallow reason, and pretty invalid. He's not good enough for Tiana. Well, honestly, this is more a complaint about Tiana than it is Naveen. Um, it's more a complaint about their relationship than anything, but if it's a complaint about any character, it's a complaint about Tiana for choosing a guy that isn't good enough for her. Um, Kind of like in my review that I did of Launchpad McQuack, where people complained that he wasn't good enough to be the pilot of the richest duck in the world, and as I stated there, that's really more of a complaint about Scrooge choosing a choosing a pilot poorly. Um, Anyway, this doesn't really have anything to do with Naveen's character. Um, just because you don't think he's good enough for Tiana, that doesn't make him a bad character. In and of himself. So, nice try, but pick a better reason. His fans are annoying. Every character has annoying fans. And this really has nothing to do with Naveen himself, so pick a better reason. His fans only like him for his looks. Yeah, probably a lot of them do only like him for his looks, but again, it has nothing to do with Naveen himself, and whether or not he's a good character, so pick a better reason. He's overrated. Again, a character being overrated has nothing to do with whether or not they're a good character, so, so pick a better reason than that to like or dislike a character. And finally, he's a slut, and had sex with a bunch of women, and likely had sex with a bunch of women. Huh? As I've mentioned many times before, sex does not exist in Disney. Yeah, while he did flirt with a bunch of women, flirting does not equal sex, especially in the Disney universe. So get those dirty thoughts out of your dirty little brains and come up with a better reason than that. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about the complaints. Personally, I do kind of like Naveen. He does definitely have his annoying moments, and I don't love him like I used to, and I can definitely see where the hate for him comes from. But I still do like him pretty well. And that's about all I have to say. The link to my friend's video will be in the description box below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye and see you next time.